Hello everyone. Last time we have explained about the nucleoplasm or nuclear sap or nuclear matrix and its function. Now the last component or the part of the nucleus, that is nucleolus. So already we have explained about the ultrastructure of nuclear envelope or nuclear membrane together with nuclear pore complexes and the nucleoplasm or karyolimb or nuclear sap. Now we'll explain the last and important component of the nucleus, that is a nucleolus. The nucleolus was first recognized by F. Fontana in 1874. It is generally spherical body. The nucleolus is a conspicuous, prominent structure present in the nucleoplasm of the nucleus. So the nucleus was first recognized or identified by the F. Fontana in 1874. It is generally a conspicuous or prominent spherical body situated in the nucleus, either in the center or in the peripheral region. The number of nucleoli in each nucleus depends on the species or the set of the chromosomes present in the nucleus. The number of nucleoli in each nucleus may be 1, 2 or 4. The number of nucleoli or nucleolus in each nucleus may be 1, 2 or 4. Nucleolus is the characteristic feature of eukaryotic cells, while it is absent in a prokaryotic cell. The nucleolus is absent in a prokaryotic cell like a bacterial cell, but it is important characteristic of the eukaryotic cells, that is the presence of nucleolus in the eukaryotic nucleus or eukaryotic cells. The size of the nucleolus depends on the synthetic activity of the cell. The size of the nucleolus depends on the synthetic activity of the cell, and thus the cells with a little or no synthetic activities, the cells with a little or no synthetic activities, for example, sperm cells, muscle cells, are found to contain smaller nucleoli or no nucleoli, while the oocytes, then neurons and the secretory cells. Oocytes means the oocytes, these are the oocytes or the ova or the eggs which are meant for the process of reproduction, that is oocytes having higher rate of metabolism or the activities during the embryonic development than the neurons or the nerve cells, which are also uh, in a constant communication process, which are also exhibiting a larger amount of activities of the transmission of the impulses through the neurons or the nerve cells. So it is also working constantly or regularly, and thus requires more activities or the more energy. And secretory cells, usually the gland cells, may be hormone or enzyme secreting cells, which are also the cells of higher rate of metabolism, because which synthesize large number of or large quantity of proteins and other substances containing large sized nucleoli or the size of the nucleolus varies from 1 to 5 micrometer in a diameter. Or even we can see there are the oocytes may have 1, 2 or more number of nucleoli as per the requirement or the rate of the activities. Whenever there are increased activities taking place in the oocytes during the embryonic development, at that time the oocytes needs, particularly in the oviparous animals, where the eggs are containing large quantity of yolk, and thus during synthesis of uh, oocyte or during oogenesis or production of ova or the eggs containing large quantity of eggs requires the large quantity of genetic material so as to synthesize large quantity of yolk, and thus the requirement of RNA, DNA is increasing. So ultimately, the size of the nucleolus in the nucleus of the oocyte is much larger, or there may be more number of nucleoli are formed in the developing oocytes. So the oocytes, neurons, and the secretory cells, that is gland cells, which are synthesizing different type of proteins or enzymes and other substances, contain large sized nucleoli, and the size of the nucleolus varies from 1 to 5 micrometer in a diameter. So nucleolus is a conspicuous, prominent, and the important structure may present in the center or in the periphery of the nucleoplasm in the nucleus. General organization. Now we will explain general organization of the nucleolus. Under light microscope, the nucleolus appears as a fluid or a semi-solid homogeneous body. Under the light microscope, the nucleolus appears as a fluid or semi-solid homogeneous body. It shows four main components. The nucleolus shows four main components, namely granules, fibrils, matrix, and the chromatin. The nucleolus consisting of four important components such as granules, fibrils, matrix, and the chromatin. Now we will explain these important component of the nucleolus one by one. So first is granules. The granular region of the nucleolus generally occurs densely at the periphery of the nucleolus, and these granules are of 150 to 200 degree angstrom unit in a diameter. The granules of the nucleolus contain ribonucleoproteins, in which RNA and the proteins are in the ratio of 1:2, means 1 part RNA and 2 part proteins. These granules are generally modified into ribosomes, means the granules of the nucleolus, which are occurring in a dense form, lies in the periphery of the nucleolus and possessing granules of 150 to 200 degree angstrom unit diameter, and these granules contain mainly the ribonucleoproteins, in which RNA and proteins are in the ratio of 1:2. So ribonucleoproteins containing RNA and the proteins in the ratio of 1:2, 1 part RNA and 2 part proteins. These granules are generally modified into ribosomes. We know the nucleolus is the site of ribosome synthesis. So these are the ribosomal components. Ribonucleoproteins, that is containing RNA and the proteins, are the components of the ribosomes. So these granules are generally modified into the ribosomes of various size or different subunits, maybe smaller or larger subunits of the ribosomes are formed from the granules of the nucleolus, and all the granules are connected together. All the granules are connected together by a thin filament resembling a string with beads. So all the granules which are occurring connected or appears to be in the connected form, connected together on a single thin filament resembling to the string with beads. Then second component of the nucleolus, that is fibrils. Fibrillar region is also known as nucleolina. Nucleolonema. Fibrillar region of the nucleolus is also known as nucleolonema. It is mainly composed of many fine fibers called as fibrils. And they are made up of ribonucleic proteins. The fibrils of the nucleolus are composed of ribonucleic proteins, which are 50 to 80 degree angstrom unit in a length. Both granules and fibrils are digested by the ribonuclease enzyme. Both granules and fibrils are digested by ribonuclease enzyme. Then third component of the nucleolus, that is matrix. This is also called amorphous or proteinous region. This is also called as amorphous or proteinous region, that is a matrix of the nucleolus. The presence of granules and fibrils point to the fact that the nuclear matrix is the major site where DNA replication takes place first, and later it gets associated with the nuclear envelope. So, the matrix portion of the nucleolus is uh, possessing the granules and fibrils of the nucleolus, and which is occurring in the peripheral region of the nucleus, and it is actually a site of DNA replication. So, major DNA duplication or the replication taking place uh, in the region of nuclear envelope in the nuclear matrix. So, in the region of nuclear matrix or the nuclear sap, or in the peripheral region of the nuclear sap, just close to the nuclear envelope, the matrix of the nucleolar region undergoes the process of DNA replication, as this region also containing the granules and fibrils of the nucleolar component. Then nucleolus also contains electron dense chromatin material. Nucleolus also contains electron dense chromatin material, usually at the periphery. Chromatin is composed of fibers of 100-degree angstrom unit thickness. Chromatin is composed of fibers. The nucleolus containing dense chromatin material. The nucleolus containing dense chromatin material, and this chromatin is composed of fibers with a thickness of 100-degree angstrom unit. The chromatin contains DNA. This chromatin contains DNA which serves as template. This chromatin contains DNA which serves as a template for RNA synthesis surrounding the nucleolus. The is the perinucleolar chromatin. This surrounding is the nucleolus. So, the chromatin material usually containing DNA, the chromatin component of the nucleolus containing DNA, which serves as a template for the RNA synthesis surrounding the nucleolus, and is the perinucleolar chromatin. It is the perinucleolar chromatin projecting into the nucleolus from the perinucleolar chromatin are the septa-like trabeculae which constitute intranucleolar chromatin. So, this is what the amount of chromatin present in the nucleolus, and it is a somehow different type of DNA representing a template DNA for the RNA synthesis in the nucleolus. Then chemical composition of the nucleolus. Nucleolus has 5 to 10% RNA. Nucleolus has 5 to 10% of RNA, and remaining part of nucleolus is made up of protein. The main protein components of the nucleolus are phosphoproteins, acid phosphatase, nucleoside phosphorylase, and NAD plus synthesizing enzymes have been localized in the nucleolus. So, these are the different type of enzymes called as phosphoproteins, acid phosphatase, nucleoside phosphorylase, and NAD synthesizing enzymes which are occurring in the nucleolus, and it is surrounded by a ring of Fulgon positive chromatin material which actually represents the heterochromatin region of the chromosomes. So, this is about the chemical composition of the nucleolus. So, nucleolus is composed of three important components, that is granules, then fibrils, and the matrix. Together with number of enzymes and also the template DNA so as to synthesize RNAs, and it is mainly composed of 5 to 10% of the RNA and many proteins, and also consisting of proteins in the form of different enzymes, that is phosphoproteins, acid phosphatase, nucleoside phosphorylase, and NAD synthesizing enzymes, which are also found in the nucleolus. And nucleolus is surrounded by a ring of Fulgon positive chromatin, which actually represents the heterochromatin region of the chromosomes. So this is the diagram showing nucleolus. So in the nucleolus you can see there is it is a round conspicuous structure representing a spherical structure and having the outermost component, that is perinucleolar chromatin, then just inside to which intranucleolar chromatin, perinuclear chromatin, intranucleolar chromatin, then nucleolar matrix, fibrils, and the granules. So fibrils are again in the form of chromatin material representing template DNA or different type of RNAs also, and matrix composed of different type of proteins, or the granules also containing different type of proteins, that is nucleoproteins, granules and the matrix, granules and the fibrils and the matrix together are forming the component of the ribosomes also. So the nucleolus is thus a site of ribosome synthesis or rRNA synthesis, and thus it is having template DNA also, or it also composed of um, the perinucleolar chromatin in the form of heterochromatin, which is actually the components of the chromosomes, heterochromatin components of the chromosomes, which are also found around the perinuclear chromatin material or the ring of the perinuclear chromatin material. So the main three components, that is granules, matrix, and fibrils, granules, fibrils, and the matrix. These are the three important component of the nucleolus as shown in the figure. Then functions of the nucleolus. Functions of the nucleolus. The first important function of the nucleolus, that is the ribosome formation. Ribosome formation. So there are ribosomes are the important component, may be having a different size, membraneless structures or the materials, that is ribosomes. These are uh, membraneless component of the nucleoplasm or cytoplasm called as ribosomes, and they are having variable size representing different type of subunits, smaller and larger subunits. Sometimes small and large subunits may occur in combination to form a ribosomal subunits, that is monomers. So ribosome formation is taking place in the nucleolus. So nucleolus is involved in the biogenesis of the ribosomes. Nucleolus is involved in the biogenesis of the ribosomes, as ribosomes are containing the important component of the protein synthesis, that is rRNA, ribosomal RNA. Then RNA production, another important function of the nucleolus, that is RNA production. Nucleolus is one of the most active site of the RNA synthesis. Nucleolus is one of the most important active site of RNA synthesis. It produces about 70 to 90% of cellular RNA in a many cells. It produces about 70 to 90% of cellular RNA in a many cells. It is also the source of ribosomal RNA. It is also the source of ribosomal RNA, that is rRNA. Then another function, that is formation of ribosomal subunits. So ribosomal subunits are also formed in the nucleolus, thus provides the protein synthesis machinery to the cells. So, what are the components of the protein synthesis machinery? The protein synthesis machinery requires the important components such as mRNA, which are transcribed from the chromosomal DNA. mRNA, that is first important component, that is messenger RNA, that is transcribed or synthesized from the chromosomal DNA. Then secondly, ribosomal RNA, ribosomal RNA. Then it also requires the ribosome subunits, that is a monomer with a small subunit and large subunit to form a monomer, and together with the triplet code of the respective amino acid in the form of ribosomal RNA, that is rRNA. Ribosomal RNA, that is rRNA, which is also occurring along with the ribosomal subunits or the components of the monomer of the ribosomal subunits. Then this also requires the protein synthesis, process of protein synthesis also requires transfer RNA or tRNA. So there are about 20 different type of RNAs which are specific to bind with specific amino acids so as to carry them, so as to bring them on the site or the region where the actual process of translation, that is protein synthesis, taking place in in association with mRNA, ribosomal subunits, rRNA, rRNA, and the tRNA also bringing the specific amino acid or the particular amino acid to the site of protein synthesis, where actually it is linked by a peptide linkage to form a particular type of protein. So, formation of ribosomal subunits, then rRNA, then mRNA, then tRNA, and different type of amino acids, all of which are the requirements of the process of protein synthesis. So, formation of ribosomal subunits taking place in the nucleolus and thus providing a protein synthesis machinery to the cell. So, rRNA, ribosomal subunits or ribosomal subunits, then tRNAs, all of which are produced or synthesized in the nucleus, in the nucleolus of the nucleus, and which are then sent or supplied to the cytoplasm for the process of different type of protein synthesis. Then fourth important function, that is protein synthesis. Maggio in 1960 and others have suggested that the protein synthesis takes place in the nucleolus. According to Maggio in 1960 and others or his colleagues have suggested that the protein synthesis takes place in the nucleolus. Some cell biologists suggested that some cell biologists suggested that ribosomal proteins are synthesized by the nucleolus. Ribosomal proteins are synthesized by the nucleolus. Of course, the ribosomes, since the ribosomes are synthesized or produced in the nucleolus, in the region of nucleolus, in the nucleus or nucleoplasm, so there is no doubt for acquiring or getting the proteins from the outside. So ultimately, the ribosomal proteins, so according to some cell biologists, the ribosomal proteins are also synthesized in the nucleolus. So process of protein synthesis, that is, as already we have explained, that the ribosomal proteins which are synthesized in the nucleolus, as it is having its DNA templates also. As we have explained earlier that nucleolus possessing DNA templates also. Since the DNA templates or the DNA material is present in the nucleolus also, that is quite obvious that the DNA templates of the nucleolus can get transcribed into a specific RNAs, may be the proteins of the ribosomes. So ultimately, the DNA templates which are found in the nucleolus can get involved in the process of protein synthesis so as to produce or synthesize the ribosomal proteins which are synthesized in the nucleolus. So protein synthesis, process of protein synthesis can also occur in the nucleolus, as many ribosomal proteins which are provided uh, for the ribosome formation by the nucleolus. Then role in a mitosis. The nucleolus plays a significant role in a cell division, that is mitosis. The process of mitosis, during the process of mitosis, nucleolus plays the significant role in the cell division. So this is what about the different functions of the nucleolus. So today we have explained the explanation regarding nucleolus, which is present in the nucleoplasm as a conspicuous structure, may be present in the center or peripheral region, may have variable size ranging from 1 to 5 micrometer in diameter. The nucleolus, size of the nucleolus may be variable depending upon the synthetic activities or the rate of metabolism or the rate of activities of the cells, and thus the cells like neurons or the oocytes or the secretory cells which are having greater activities, they are having large sized nucleolus, or even they have more number of nucleolus may found in the developing oocytes so as to synthesize more amount of yolk during the uh, uh, oocyte formation or during the process of oogenesis. Then we have explained general organization of the nucleolus, having semi-solid or semi-fluid homogeneous body or the material found in the nucleolus and composed of four material type of components such as granules, fibrils, matrix and the chromatin. Then it mainly composed of different type of RNAs, that is 5 to 10% of RNAs are found in the nucleolus. Then remaining part of the nucleolus containing different type of proteins, then different type of enzymes also, that is phosphoproteins, acid phosphatase, nucleoside phosphorylase and NAD synthesizing enzymes which are also found in the nucleolus and performing variable role in the activities, different activities of either ribosome synthesis or the protein synthesis or the rRNA synthesis in the nucleolus. So this is the diagram showing the structure of nucleolus, and which is mainly composed of three components, that is granules, fibrils, matrix, granules, fibrils, matrix and the chromatin material, that is either perinucleolar or intranucleolar chromatin material, may possess the heterochromatin in the peripheral region or may have its DNA template in the form of intranucleolar chromatin, which mainly getting involved in the process of synthesis of ribosome or the synthesis of ribosomal proteins in the nucleolus. So this is what about the structure of nucleolus. Then we have explained the different functions of the nucleolus, that is wherever there are different type of proteins, wherever the proteins are required in the cytoplasm of the cells, that are also imported from the nucleus through the nuclear envelope or the nuclear pore complexes. There are several type of enzymes or proteins or ribosomes, different type of RNAs which are essential in the cytoplasm for various processes, but that are produced in the nucleoplasm or by the nucleolus and are then supplied or transported to the cytoplasm time to time from the nucleolus and the nucleus. So nucleolus plays important role in ribosome formation, then RNA synthesis, then synthesis of different ribosomal proteins or ribosomal subunits, and also providing a various components of the protein synthesis machinery to the cell cytoplasm. Then it also involved in the process of protein synthesis. and it is considered that different type of ribosomal proteins are also synthesized in the nucleolus, and lastly it also plays important role in the process of mitosis. So this is what about the nucleolus. Now next time we'll continue with a new topic. So with this today we'll stop here. Thank you.